What is up everybody, it's your boy Cameron Bash here and welcome back to the Movement Channel. Today, we're coming at you guys with another AEW Games video as we've got yet another update to share regarding their highly anticipated console game. Now it's been a little while since we've heard anything from the AEW guys about this game. The last major update came around 5 months ago when they revealed an in-game character model for Jungle Boy, and other than that, we just heard a few words from Tony Khan about how he's feeling about the game this past December. Today, however, we have more of a substantial update about the game as it's coming from one of the main driving forces behind the project, former AEW World Champion Kenny Omega. Kenny is obviously the person who announced this game initially, and he seems to be the #1 guy from AEW who's working with the game developers to make sure that this game is top notch. So any update from him about the game is definitely something worth noting. In this latest update, he dived into a few different topics, not only discussing features we can expect to see in the game, such as cross-platform play, but also how he feels about WWE 2K22, which to be honest, he's sounding pretty nervous about. So, let's jump into this. Speaking on the Wrestling Observer Radio, Kenny Omega had this to say: "We're working on our next presentation. We're working non-stop, around the clock, on this game. There are a lot of deadlines we're trying to reach. We don't ever want to keep anyone in the dark completely, and it's been quite some time since we've had an actual update. Not just information, but we want to be able to show people something. I would expect, hopefully, to have something prepared for people to show very soon. I don't want to promise at the pay-per-view or the pay-per-view week, and we were hoping to possibly show a little more of where we're at, and progression, and reveal possibly a new character or characters. It is coming along." So while Kenny was careful not to make any concrete promises there, he did say they are aiming to have something ready for pay-per-view week, that being AEW Revolution, which is coming up on March 6th, just a few days before the release of WWE 2K22. Now while we don't think an announcement from AEW this week will really rock WWE 2K22's release all that much, it is interesting to see that they are aiming to release something the same week that their competition is releasing something as well. Following on from that, he said, "For me, there is a large emphasis on the wrestling aspect of this game. We want the wrestling too, and it's tough to get down, but we want it to feel like how a match would flow, but within a video game. The matches, in general, will go a little quicker, but we want them to feel like a user is able to assume the role of their favourite AEW superstar, and or whoever they create in Create a Wrestler mode. And when they mix it up in the ring in whatever match type they choose, that they're going to have a fun time, and that they feel like they're in control of their person, and that the moves have impact and is fun. But if you want to be competitive about it, there is that there too. We'll never be able to compete with the production values of WWE's games. 2K22 is absolutely gorgeous. I'm excited to see all of their bells and whistles when it finally releases. For us, rather than pushing the envelope drastically or anything like that, we just want the wrestling to feel how it used to feel for the people who would play wrestling games back in the day and just have fun with fellow wrestling fans or people who want to have fun with their buddies. Maybe they don't know who Luchasaurus is and they don't know who Chris Jericho is, but they'll be able to pick up a character and go, this guy is fun to play as. That's the feeling that I want, as a creative designer, to bring back to video games." So this is quite an interesting quote from Kenny Omega. Many people, in their own minds, have been hyping up the AEW game to be a WWE Games killer. A game to come in and be bigger and better than WWE's in a way that fans will love and respect. And to be honest, I don't think people are all that wrong to have that belief. This game is being developed by Ukes, people who are used to making fantastic wrestling video games, and this game has over $10 million of investment behind it out of Tony Khan's own pocket. So, with those two things combined, of course people are going to think that this could be the WWE game killer, but Kenny Omega doesn't seem to think that himself. Kenny, in his very own words here, says that they will never be able to compete with the production values of WWE games. And that one quote tells me that some people really need to rethink the way that they are thinking about this game. Not only in regards to how it stands up to WWE's game, but just how it is as a game in general. If Kenny doesn't believe that it's going to be anywhere near that of WWE, then maybe this game is going to be more of a basic arcade game with a few extra features, like WWE All-Stars or 2K Battlegrounds, rather than being a fully fledged AAA title like the main line of WWE games are. Kenny did also say here that the main focus is the gameplay, making sure that they nail that and get that right for many fans of classic wrestling games, which to us is great to hear. We always say it, but if the core of your game is trash, then it doesn't matter how many extra things you add on top of that because you can't shine a dog turd. So even if this game doesn't reach the level of depth and features that WWE Games has, at least they plan on having a strong and solid game at its core to play and enjoy. The final word from Kenny on this was, We have a lot of match types, game modes, there is going to be cross-platform, and an online component where you can create your own lobbies and things like that, and have fun with friends and the ability to defend belts. Plenty of ways to interact with people in different ways to build a community and interact with people and have fun. In this wrestling universe, it's not just about the wrestling itself, it's always about bringing people together as best you can, which is not the main focus, but I would like to see that happen and it's one of my focuses. I would like to see that happen, for this game to be a chance for wrestling fans and people who enjoy the game to have as many outlets as they can to bring their friends together and have fun, offline or online. It's nice to hear that despite him feeling that it won't live up to WWE's games, that they still aim to make it as robust and expansive as possible. Not only with the different match types and game modes, but with a strong online component as well. People love coming together and playing games, and by the sounds of it, what Kenny is talking about here sounds very similar to that of the old SmackDown vs Raw online lobbies, where you could defend championships online. So if that's the type of thing that Kenny is thinking about when developing this part of the game, it's definitely going to be something to look out for. But with that guys, that is all of Kenny's comments on the AEW game and the end of this video. Tell us, how are you feeling about this update to the AEW console game? We certainly feel as if this is the most interesting update about the game thus far, and we think a lot of people are going to change how they feel about the game based on this, but we want to hear from you, so make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more wrestling video game content. Thanks very much for watching this video guys, and we'll see you soon for another one.